I saw it. It was lightning fast. So much blood. So many teeth. Dave!
Hey, you're not supposed to be able to talk to me. You're in a video game.
Why don't you sit there? You saw that thing eating everyone. Find me a power-up and get me out of here!
I'd love to help you out, buddy, except this time you're the meat.
What?
A horror game in which you play a ravenous blob monster? Sounds different to me. Stick around to find out more. Welcome to the Dave and Bildo Show. I'm Dave.
And I'm Bildo.
And if you like the curious, funny, or just plain different in gaming from tabletop to screen, then take a monstrous bite out of that subscribe button because you're in the right place. You know what one of my favorite movie monsters is?
Crazy plumber guy?
Crazy plumber? No! The Blob. An insatiable, amorphous organism which uses its mass to squeeze, smash, and devour every living thing in its path. Unless you know its weakness, it'll never stop chasing you. If it catches you, it digests you alive. It's hellish jelly pouring into your mouth, ears, nose, and lungs. You suffocate while enveloped in acid, feeling every agonizing moment of your demise! So you can imagine how psyched I was when this horrible year dropped such a neat little present into our laps. Carrion.
Carrion, carrion. 'Cause nothing really matters.
You've been dying to do that, haven't you?
Ever since you wrote the script, yes.
Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to play a game where you play as a voracious, flesh-hungry blob. There was Smart Ball for the NES, but it was too cute. There was the Ooze for the Genesis, but it just didn't quite reach what I was looking for. The Blob is the good guy, for one thing, and while you can eat some people, I guess, you mostly fight robots and other 90s comic booky future stuff. You begin life in Carrion as a writhing ball of tentacles fresh out of containment. From that moment onward, you're in control as you satisfyingly rip off doors and grates, scouring the underground caverns to devour any hapless fool who lands in your path. Moving about in Carrion is similar to games whose names end in Vania and Troid.
Why don't you just call it a Metroidvania?
I just can't. I'm sorry. But like in those games, all the different areas are connected in an overworld map. Getting to each new area requires spreading your fleshy mass across the regions of the overworld. And don't think because you're the bad guy, it's going to be a walk in the park.
Wow. Security's really on their toes in this game.
Well, would it be as fun if you just tore through everything like moist tissue paper?
Yeah.
We need to find you help.
Yeah.
Fortunately, you come equipped with powers which will help you tear through security forces and drink of their sweet human cherry juice. As you progress, you'll add mass to your creature which will also unlock additional powers. These primary powers usually act as an attack, a way to solve puzzles, and giving you a way to access areas you couldn't reach before.
A game where you play a monster has puzzles in it?
Yeah. Sometimes you'll need to drop a monster duke in a nearby pond to lower your mass, since you can only use powers like invisibility when you're smaller. You can also find hidden labs which will give you additional powers such as a second arm to grab enemies and victims with. These additional powers are helpful, but aren't required to finish the game.
I like the noises in this game. They make me happy.
The sound design in this game is awesome. The music is perfect for a game where you play a creeping horror in the dark. You can hear every tendril as they pull your toothy maws through the tunnels of the underground bases. A lot of attention was paid to how this game would sound, and it's one of its best aspects in my opinion.
The human characters in this game only seem to grunt and moan, and do you think it might be because since the developers made it, you're a monster and can't understand what they're saying?
Yeah, you might be onto something with that.
Awesome. I like this game.
Well, it's not without its drawbacks. The controls are quite touchy, particularly in the aiming department. Quite a few times I tried to grab someone only for my tentacle to fail to respond or grab something else entirely. When you grow to a quite larger size, you have to be careful in spaces with multiple one-way exits, as triggering one can force you into it, and worst case scenario, you'll have to work your way around to get back to where you were. Also, it's real easy to get lost in this game, especially during the later segments. You can find yourself going in circles trying to locate where one little opening might be that you can smash through to get to the next area. For a Vania Troid-style game, the lack of an overworld map is a pretty heinous omission, and you could have easily explained how a map would make sense with a monster's echolocation ability. Those things aside, I enjoyed the game, and if you're a fan of horror movies, horror games, or The Blob, or even The Thing, give Carrion a try.
Carrion is now currently available for Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Microsoft Windows, Linux, and Macintosh operating systems. You know, you call the monster a blob, keep referring to it as such, but it reminds me more of a gibbering mouther.
Oh, the D&D monster.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can see that, but isn't that kind of like a blob in a way?
Well, it spreads slime all around and can lock you in place. It's more like the Thing than a big amoeba.
Fair enough, but hey, did you see what the game icon looked like on the Switch before they changed it?
Yeah. That looks like,
Definitely looks like a thing.
It doesn't seem to have any teeth.
Oh, it's got teeth, I bet. I wonder what this does right here.
Think it likes that?
I don't know, but it took me a while to find it. Beware of the blob, it creeps and leaps and glides and slides across the floor, right through the door and all along the wall. A blotch, a splotch, be careful of the blob. Beware of the blob, it creeps and leaps and glides and slides across the floor, right through the door and all around the wall. A blotch, a splotch, be careful of the blob.